Blessings and welcome, my brothers and sisters, in the love and in the light. Conscious channeling, LL Research. These messages I am humbled and it is my privilege to share with you. I am Robert, your humble narrator, and in today's talk, I wish to speak of the feelings of separation from family. To some extent, every individual will feel, at least at times, sorely separated from family and or friends. But for the wanderers, the separation is felt steadily, keenly, and over a lifetime. It is not a separation from the world of nature, but from other human beings. For many wanderers, it begins right in the early years of the birth family. Those of QO say, so at the heart of being a wanderer is that feeling of dislocation, of being in the world, but not of the world in which you find yourselves. Because this situation seems full of discomfort, many who have wandered here are simply miserable without finding any comfort. To respond to that need for comforting, some who have responded have learned in their discussions heavily towards confronting wanderers by encouraging a sense of separation from native Earth humans. We do not encourage this line of thought because each wanderer, in coming into your Earth sphere of influence, took upon it the responsibility of citizenship of this Earth. As much as any other native inhabitant, wanderers will be expected to walk the steps of light when this incarnational experience is at an end. And just as much as any native inhabitant of Earth, if the steps are walked to a point of comfort within third density, the wanderer shall not return to its home vibratory nexus, but rather shall continue in third density until graduation is achieved. I believe this to be an important point. We may not have always been on Earth, but we incarnated here as Earth natives, people of the blood and dust of this native sphere, subject to its requirements for departure. We will not go back to our home densities until we realize this and work to polarize enough for graduation from our present third density experience. Being natives here seems to separate us from our eternal wanderer spirit, although it does not. Those of Latwi say this. Separation seems to run very deep, and one forgets that the stones sing, and the earth shouts with rejoicing, and that the trees skip in the springtime. How easy is it to feel oneself separated from life that indwells all things? How easy is it to feel separated from oneself? To feel that there are factions within the self which must be reconciled. To find oneself analyzing and reanalyzing to no avail. Our friend Norma describes this basic situation. I never was a joiner and lived most of my life by myself. And for sure, I have felt more alone or isolated when I am around a larger group of people. Yet, individually, I love people and have many wonderful friends. But it is not my people or my home. I can feel very close to an animal, dog, wolf, horse, or other, but not to humans. Now, as it applies to the birth family, the reported dislocation can be felt as the family rejecting the wanderer. I have had many experiences throughout my life that I have only now begun to realize were different, except for the fact that the other kids thought me different and my family wished me swept under the rug. However, some wanderers are of sturdier stuff, and they reject the family rather than waiting around for the family to reject them. When I was young, I always thought I was adopted even though I knew differently. I had a hard time for a while because I did not feel accepted by my parents, even though they loved me in their own way. Another says, while growing up, I remember thinking that my parents were not my parents. My family, not my family. That my real family would come and get me and take me home. Even my mother said that if I didn't look so much like her, she wouldn't believe that I was her child. That is a tough audience. Here, those of QO share some insight on how to work with those feelings. The only catalyst dealt with in third density is fear and love. The entity begins its babyhood wrapped in love, love known throughout its system, and it learns to close itself, to become apart, and to become defended because it seems fairly obvious that there are things to fear. There are entities and objects out there that can harm and hurt. So the spiritual life within third density may be described as either a learning how to love or a learning how to release fear. For fear is that distortion of love that persists a separation betwixt beings, thus occasioning the necessity of having some sort of response to these portions or things that will tend to increase safety and comfort. Now, to those who feel somehow guilty for feeling this dislocation from family, QO says, these feelings of separation among those who seek to be one cannot be seen in terms of failure. It must be seen simply that it takes an enormous spiritual courage to attempt to offer a life to the Creator, especially one in the context of other entities. In my birth family situation, I was, or felt I was, more the nurturer than the nurtured. It is excellent catalyst, seen in hindsight, but it was very painful at the time, not feeling supported. Even looking back on it, the memories are not precisely golden. Though adulthood does bring independence and the continuing opportunity to become supportive and encouraging parents to ourselves. We need carefully to watch how we talk to ourselves. Let us begin our service to others with the service to our inner selves of support. self-belief, and self-acceptance. What the birth family was in no position to do, we can become able to encompass within ourselves. We can become self-affirming, and that is a wonderful start, in my opinion, to affirming others. It is my honor and privilege to share with you conscious channeling of LL research. Messages from the Confederation in service to our one infinite Creator. I love each of you. Blessings and peace, my sisters and brothers. Hey, this is Robert. I'm just a messenger. I lay these tracks down because they help me focus on the love and the light of the Creator and unity. And I wish to share. I'm just a humble messenger. I'm nothing more, I'm nothing less. Just like you, the spark of the Creator, trying to figure it out. Anyways, I love you.